Hello, Tab Nation. It's your boy Tom, and today we're going to be talking about how to recover your operating system on a Mac. Recently, mine got corrupted for some odd reason, not sure why. So there is the option of doing this through the recovery internet, but two things with that really is that it can be very slow to do it that way. And also, it can have issues with older operating systems or older iMacs, because they did change their protocol, and you can fix that using the terminal and changing some paths there. But that can be a little complex for some people, and this way is just honestly easier if you have an extra computer laying around. We're using Windows 11 here, but it doesn't really matter on the operating system as long as it's just an extra computer that is working and connected to the internet. So the first thing we want to do is we want to download this program called Transmac. This is just the one I'm using. There's other ones out there. If this one for some reason doesn't do what you want, there's other ones out there. Obviously, this is going to be in the description below. So first thing you want to do is go ahead, download this zip. There will be a countdown for like 10, 15 seconds, I think it is. And you get that. Go ahead, run through the standard install process. So you just double click, yes, install, and you're good to go there. But now we need to get our actual operating system ISO. So this website, also in the description below, this is just archive.org. But yeah, they got this here. It says no longer maintaining, but it still has quite a lot of options here, anywhere from version 10 to 13. If you guys know one that's more up to date, or maybe has just a better file system than this one, definitely let me know in the comments below. But you're simply just going to click here, ignore everything else, you don't really need any of that, and just find what operating system you're trying to reinstall. So for me, I was doing High Sierra, that's right here. It's 5.9 gigabytes, but there's some that go up to almost 15 gigabytes. So you need to just make sure you have a USB or an external hard drive that's at least a little bit bigger than the file size that you see over here. So High Sierra, it's basically 6 gigabytes. I'm using a 5 gigabyte USB, so that's plenty space for me to do. You just click this little download button here, and I installed it to my desktop. You can put it wherever you want, but here is the image of it here. So once we got that downloaded, we're going to go ahead and run Transmac. It is a 14-day demo. I have 10 days left right here, as you can see. But honestly, hopefully you only ever need to use it once, and you can figure your issue out within those 14 days. If not, just try it on a different computer or borrow a friend's computer real quick, because you just really need to do this real quick and then go back to your Mac. It will do a 10-second timer here. Once that's done, you have the run button, so we can go ahead and push run. Now we're going to see that here's my hard drive, the C drive. Obviously you do not want to mess with that because that is this computer's actual hard drive. We do not want to format that. That would be bad. But we have right here is the USB disk, drive D. Obviously it might just be named differently on yours. This is HP, so it just really depends. But we're going to click on it. It's going to give us a warning saying that we do need to be in admin mode for this. So just say yes. You're going to get another pop-up. We're going to say yes again. It's going to restart. It's going to do that 10-second countdown again, which is fine. So while it's doing that, don't forget to subscribe. Throwing videos out all the time, mostly with automation, but we branch out like in this video because, well, I had an issue and I thought I would share it with the world. Alright. So now we're back in here. I can click on the disk here, and as you see, I didn't get that warning. Everything's good. But first thing we need to do is we want to format it. So you right-click on it, say Format Disk for Mac. It's going to give you plenty of warnings, but I'll also give you a warning. This is going to erase everything that's on there. So if you have any pictures, notes, that kind of thing, just make sure you do have those saved before you do this. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to say yes. You can name it whatever you want. We'll just name it like MacOS. We're going to say yes. And it's going to go ahead and format. Once again, depending on the size of your external hard drive or USB stick, in your specs of your computer. This shouldn't take that long. For me, it's probably only going to take about a minute, maybe less. We'll see here. Yep, there we go. That was maybe like 20-30 seconds. So that's good. We're now going to go ahead and say right-click again, restore from disk image. We're going to go ahead and say yes. We're going to find that download that we had, the iOS High Sierra, or whatever one you're using. We're going to go ahead and say open, OK, OK again. Make sure this is unchecked. We don't really need that. And push OK. Now, this depends also, once again, on your specs, your USB, but also the file size. Mine was about 6 gigabytes. And so this will probably take a few minutes. Could take longer, but I'm going to go ahead, pause the video for right now, and I'll time and see about how long it took, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so we're back. That took maybe about 6 minutes, I would say. We're going to get this message box at the end that just says restore complete. We can go ahead, press OK, and we can go ahead and exit out of Transmac. If we were to go into our file explorer here, jump over and see the D drive, clicking on that, it's going to say you need to format it. That's because it's no longer like a regular USB storage device, so that's fine. Obviously, don't go ahead and format it. But what we can do now is we can go ahead, unplug that USB from this computer. I'm going to use my phone as we switch over to the Mac just to run you through the beginning of that process. So once again, I will be right back. See you in a second. All right. Hopefully the audio quality is all right. So it's time to power on. I have the USB plugged into the back over here. We're just going to push the power. And as soon as we push the power on our keyboard, we want to push and hold down the Option key. So we're going to go ahead and do that right away. We're going to push and hold that. And this is going to take us into our recovery mode, where first it's going to take us into where we can choose how we want to boot. So this is an older Mac, it might take a second. So there we go. So we have the operating system, which was corrupted, but we have the recovery over here. So we can just use the arrow keys on our keyboard, or if you have a mouse, you can just simply move the mouse and click on there. But it seems up, there it goes. And you just click the arrow key. And it's going to go ahead and it's going to boot into a recovery mode. This one is High Sierra, so it should be pretty much the same on all operating systems, I believe, for the most part that I have seen. I'm not sure about the newer versions. So there it is. We see that it's loading. It might take a little bit, especially because this is from, I believe, like 2013. So I'll go ahead, pause this, and we'll be right back. All right, here we are. That took about a minute, so it was pretty quick. You can go into your normal stuff here, like disk utility, if you want to format the hard drive, whatever. But for us, we're just going to go to in Reinstall MacOS, press continue. And we're going to, there we go, and there it is. So remember I said I was doing High Sierra, and from here you're just going to push continue, follow the few steps, depending on everything. It just depends how long it's going to take. When I originally did that, it took about maybe 15 minutes for the whole process of this part to be done. And then after that, I just had to do the basic first setup things like pick my language, keyboard layout, and you should be good to go. I'm obviously not going to show you this part because I've already done it. My operating system is back to normal. And hopefully this was a good video and helps a lot of people. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye!